Hey plastic model builders, welcome back. This is now part 7 of the A-18F Super Hornet, the strike test version. It's a wonderful plane. You're seeing what we just previously did. We put all the decals on this model. Look inside, the exhausts, the engine intakes, some decals right here, painted a bomb, decaled that also. So let's get to it. Time to complete this model, and after that we'll have a reveal in the next episode. So here's what we've got going on right here. Painting a little bit of red. That's for the landing lights. We didn't do that before. I'm using a pen on this, just trying out a new technique. Don't know if I'll do this technique in the future, but I did it here. Got our little pod that we have to do. We're going to attach all of our armament to this plane. So this pod goes onto the holder, which will go onto the side of the aircraft. Be on the lookout for that. Going to put our little line thingies, sorry, you know me, don't know what everything's called all the time, onto our missiles right here. So you got one that goes there, and we've got this little guy which goes onto this one. It goes across the whole thing. I don't know exactly how that works, and you know, the more and more I look at this stuff, it makes me wonder, when this missile fires, does that thing just fall off and hit wherever the heck it hits? Kind of a mystery to me. I'd love to see those in action and how that works. Anyway, we've got two pieces here. One you saw that goes on the missile on one side, and this thing which holds it on. So I imagine they're kind of interconnected, maybe bolted through completely. Who knows? Somebody will tell me. Please inform me, because I don't feel like researching this. These are the missiles right here that go onto the side of the aircraft on the wings. Same little deal. Got this little thing that goes right down the middle of that, and then this will also attach to the aircraft. There you go, we got one. Here's the other one. Quick and simple, just like that. It's done. Now we will put these onto the plane. So we got some tabs, 3 of them, 1, 2, and 3. Just line this up. You might have to hold it there. You see where I scraped my paint away, because it always goes better where there is no paint, and it bonds nicely, just like that. And of course the other side again, 3 little tabs, very small, easy to miss. Don't scrape them away, because it can be done, and I almost did it. So here we go. Now we are going to put on our bombs and our other missiles. So got this right here. That's where the pod will go. So there are 2 spaces there you see. Those are also for little resting hooks for other missiles, which I put on the other side. I did one of these pods and then one of the smaller missiles. So we'll put this on. There we go. Now we are going to put on the fuel tank. First it needs its pylon. Get a little glue on there. This can only go in one way because one hole is smaller than the other. We'll let that dry. First we will put on our white missile, then our bomb. I can't remember if the missiles are the Sparrows or not, or not the Sparrows, but the Sidewinders, whatever these are. I'm not exactly sure. Definitely not Sidewinders, but yeah, I'm thinking Sparrows. Who knows? I get confused. You got little holes for the drop bombs right here. Be careful. Hold it so it sets. This fits nicely into that little slot. Same thing with the other side. Just find your holes and put that in. There we go. By the way, if it looks discolored, that's because it had gloss paint on it, and I never bothered turning it unglossy. So right here we are going to put a little missile holders. Each one of those got painted a nice steel color. A little bit of model making madness here. You know, you got to make it look pretty. We'll let those dry. We've got a bunch of antennas that go onto the underside of the plane and by the nose, and a little bit on the top. That's where the tail hook goes, that little piece there. So you see you got 3 of them right here up front. And then there's one just behind the landing gear, right there. So carefully put your glue on. Make sure it fits first. They go nicely into place, just like that. If you want, you can paint the tips steel or aluminum, whatever you want to do. There you go. That slides in. And of course this has a little dot right there. Make sure the glue dries completely. Sometimes it doesn't always do that. Alright, so let's put on our drop tank. Right there, a little bit of extra fuel for the aircraft, long distances. Alright, so we have our landing light right there. I got to clip away one little piece and then break the landing light away. It's model making madness, make it look pretty. Painting this white, probably should have just put this on the plane to begin with and done it a different way, but I didn't. Learn from my mistake, I guess, and we can do it differently. Now I know different ways to do this. So now we're going to put on the missile. Here it is. 2 spots. Turn it down. Just like that. And then we have this little guy right here. This is for the ladder. So time to put on the ladder, which is a little bit difficult. Small pieces, small little holes. It's hard getting things into the right spot. So put our glue there. We'll let this set up. Just like that. Now we have our ladder. 2 little spots right here. And a little bit on the leading edge of the plane. I still can't remember the exact name of it, but I know it is the front leading edge, probably. If not, I'm sorry. So then we've got this. Got to make sure these arrows go in the, not the arrows, but the way this is designed, that it goes in the right spot, because one arm is a little shorter than the other. See, I kind of just managed to fit it in there, press it down. Now we've got an actuator that goes right here and attaches to the wheel. I don't know why I said wheel, because it's not a wheel. Attaches to the ladder on the side. And just push that in, and then you'll want to glue a small little deal right there just above the L. In other ways it will be below the L, but that's what that looks like. I've got that little sanding stick there just to hold that ladder in place while everything dries, and I paint this actuator. I figured it'd be easier to paint it while it was on there. Going to attach our front wheels. And then after our front wheels, our rear wheels, and then we will line them up. So these are flat. Press those on. The back wheels are not, I'm sorry, the front wheels were not flat. These do have a flat spot on them. So just kind of put them on. Find yourself a flat surface. Put your plane down, and they should line up. Just like that to make everything flat. Make sure your front gear looks good. I know it might look a little twisted, but it's not. It's even. So here we go. This is why we cut out that little area for that decal. So this can fit in there just like that. Here we go. All right, so we are now spraying a sealer coat. I used some Pledge Revive It, formerly known as Pledge Future. I know you all heard of that. Good little sealer coat. I did 2 coats, I believe. So I have a mixture here of turpentine and some oil-based paints. First time doing this, that's why it's really dark. I don't advise ever doing it this dark and letting it dry for a long time. You can do it how you want. Either way, this is how I did it. You know, you have to learn somehow. So I basically coated the whole entire plane like this. I know I might get some sort of slack for this, but that's okay. It's my model, and I know it looks really good when it's all said and done. So I do everything in this black coat here just like this. I know it also should be a little bit thinner. By the way, wear a mask when you do this stuff, because the fumes are great. Even if it's odorless, it's still not good for you to breathe anything in. So just word to the wise, don't breathe this stuff. Bad for the lungs. All right, wear a mask. Alright, so now I'm using a rag that after this stuff is dried a little bit, I've got a little bit of turpentine on this, and I'm just wiping away a lot of this dark matter, leaving just a hint of it. If you see pictures of this real plane, you'll see it. Thing was pretty dirty, at least in pictures, maybe because it just flew in from somewhere. They didn't have time to clean the plane on the runway. I imagine they do keep these planes pretty clean once they come back in most cases at the bases, but this was probably on display at an air show. So you see how one side is darker than the other, but if you just keep getting your rag with a little bit of turpentine, be careful not to scrape away the layer of sealer that we have on, because I kind of did that in some spots due to inexperience, and that's okay. We're all learned somehow. But either way, you see how it's really coming together, taking a bunch of that black off, but also leaving a hint of it, so this plane just looks nice and dirty. We'll also get our front landing gear and rear. This is the tail stabilizer. I figured it'd be easier to do this while it was off the model than while it was on, because you can basically get firm rubbing action. Yeah, I know, just pretend I didn't really say it like that. Alright, so we got to paint the guns. I had forgotten to do that, so we're going back and do that. Gunmetal. I've noticed some of the colors might look a little bit different. Looks more of like a goldish steel in other pictures. Directions called for gunmetal, so I did gunmetal. Followed the directions on this one. Alright, now all that is good. Seal it in with another flat coat. This is what I did, and after this we'll put in those rear stabilizers. Let those dry because we're spraying those. Peel off our blue stuff that I have, my liquid decal mask. I'm still learning with this stuff. It's a fun experience. Attach our front landing light. You can see the weathering that I've got done there on the front landing gear. This is a hard little light to install. That's why it might be easier to do it with everything off of the plane. But there we go. That's on now. Attach the rear stabilizers. Be careful where you get your glue. Press those in. They got to be pressed in rather hard depending on how you sanded prior to doing this, if you remember way back in one of our other videos. And there we go. Not much left. These things move, by the way. Very nice of them. So attach the canopy. We need the actuator on there. Once we get that on, we can glue the canopy in its up position. That's how I glued mine. You can do yours however you want. You know, that's how it goes. Anyway, coming to the end, I thank you for watching as usual. Check back in our next video. That will be the final reveal. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like, of course. And until next time, see ya.